And I wish I had the same strength to serve them. Uh-oh. And you start to see her stomach quiver. She stands up real quick and struggles in her face and lets loose another pile of fish eggs. But I don't have the strength they have. This is a cursed existence.
You
It's better
say
you
it
see
is
this now.
cursed.
She pulls from the back of her chair a spear. And it has this like um pearlescent head on it and shines. And she drives it through her skull.
Yeah, I knew that was about to happen.
And she just falls over. And you see that emaciated, shriveled body lie there.
I'm gonna like ring my ear and be like, "Is this thing on? I thought this was going one way, and now
Oh,
she just
fuck.
killed herself."
And then you hear this sound as that pile of fish eggs start to kind of gurgle and move.
Oh, no.
And then one sinewy leg steps out, and then another. And slowly you start to see this female figure pull herself out of the eggs, squishing all the other ones between her toes as she begins to find her form again. And now, much taller, much closer to that 15-foot statue, you see this giant statuesque figure.
He's a phoenix of her people.
With the carp's head. I have
Recycle.
died countless times. I cannot leave these people. Unfortunately, their belief in me is too strong.
So if they would find another patron, would that give you freedom? Or with better instruction, so they could believe in you fully so you would not live such a cycle?
Freedom's a funny word.
That's true.
What I want more than anything else is a form of freedom. But it's selfish. Because my people need me.
So if your people were free, if we could somehow get them elsewhere away from this corruption, you would follow.
What is the corruption that you see? Because it is just reality.
Well, they are a race. And forgive me for not using the voice tonight. Any race which thrives on the mental domination and absconsion of free will of others is corrupt. You are surrounded, your people are surrounded here. They were so scared that they had to will you into existence to be a protector. So yes, the lives they live currently are corrupt. They are bereft of actual joy that they are not self-ingratiating through you. You can't be free because you are their hope. They cannot survive without said hope. And the cycle continues. Mutually dependent. it symbiotic in the worst way possible.
Would my people have any better chance of surviving the world above? Would they not also be hunted by monsters and creatures who would maim and kill them? Who would tear them to pieces?
We can now speak with authority that this is not the only world. There must be some world out there. We have been to a nexus. We have been to a place where so many people were. There is hope, deity, for you and your people. Do I wish this plane could hold it? Yes. And perhaps when we banish the Spider Queen and light returns, that could even happen here. But unless you have hope as the symbol of their collective hope, you will not be able to move forward, and neither will your people.
You all saw her visibly shake when he mentioned the Spider Queen. And a mention of her, well, the realization of what Vam was saying, that she lacks the hope. It hits hard, and so she covers her eyes in shame.
I appreciate the actual, hardcore.
That's interesting. It's very interesting. So, hope, I don't believe, is something I've felt in a long time. Maybe the prophecies were true. Prepare yourselves for a feast tonight. I welcome you all to wash up and ready yourselves. You are our guests here. We'll treat you with the honor that you deserve.
Thank you.
So another Kuatoa kind of steps up behind you and says, "If you all are ready, take you to your quarters."
Do we know where we're going? Like,
Lead the way.
like, do we've never been to this location that they're taking us right now, right?
Yeah, he's just kind of ushering you out of the temple, and he's going to show you to your quarters. But yeah, you've never been to your quarters.
I guess the way I was saying it is there wasn't like an obvious inn or place that we're going, so that we were walking here. So I'm going to be trying to take in as much as I can of the area in terms of general layout, see how much it like maps to what my understanding of a traditional town, village, city, whatever size this is,
Okay.
and kind of coordinate and try to keep a mental note of where we came in, where we've been, and where we're going. So I kind of like have that mental map built up.
Gotcha. So what I'd like you to do, because you've set this up, is that anytime you're going to do like a check in regards to those things,
Mhm.
you're going to have advantage, because right now you're I guess giving yourself a little bit of inspiration, right? Like
Sure.
you're taking it in. So if there comes a situation where you need to figure out where you are location wise, yeah, go ahead and give yourself advantage.
Cool.
But yeah, unless there's anything else that needs to be said here in this throne room, they're gonna lead you back out. Um, and as you guys kind of step back out onto the stairs, there's still a large gathering, and now you're just kind of hearing like, "Oh, here they come! Here they come! Oh my God, look at how big they are! Wow, look at all these weapons! Look at all those!" As they're all just kind of fascinated with everything that you guys are carrying, and then they take you far down the steps, and then to the right there's another one of these buildings or structures, houses. I don't want to say houses, but that is it is like one hallway in, and then there's the center, like kind of a circular center, and then these hallways that go that continue past it, and then ones that go to the left and right, and then there are four rooms that are in the corners of these hallways. So you're let in there, and you're given the opportunity to take up whatever space you want. Three of those four rooms all contain beds and stuff, while the fourth one seems to have what they consider like a communal space.
I have a feeling that none of the beds will be big enough for me. So,
You're gonna struggle here.
you know what? The ground is perfectly fine. It feels like as we have found more and more lost deities, the problem exasperates itself. Perhaps because of the shattering of various things, more are allowed to coexist. Does anyone else find it strange that this seems to be a pattern?
I think the convergence obviously threw things off balance, and I guess those who are considered deities or in some way or form more connected to that, so they feel that that restlessness. And in turn, how they react determines their state.
What I am perhaps hopeful of is if collective will can call forth. He kind of gestures outside. It could mean a better world for those who are not of the more patroned, I suppose would be the terminology I would use. But can you imagine every town having their own deity to protect them? Almost like guardian spirits.
I only thing I see is if we're spending so much of this time meeting potentially new deities, is I don't think deities are that much better at coexisting as the rest of us mortals. And a lot of times there's deities that fight each other. You know, conflicts arise just because the deities want it as much as the mortals do. So the more options there are.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say,
So,
the more
go-
often it happens, the more the more likely it is.
It's
Go
just
ahead.
my understanding about D&D is like, it feels like they're just like creatures. They're just like creatures but from different dimensions. But just so happen that in this dimensions, they have extra abilities and powers that over the creatures in this realm, but doesn't necessarily ex- they're not necessarily exempt from all the problems. Like you can obviously see her reaction when you mentioned the Spider Queen, right? Like they are capable of emotions, and what's whatever that's whatever that's happening here obviously upsets and saddens her enough that she direly wants to get out of this cycle, but doesn't seem to be able to find a solution, right? So I think in addition to the concept of there seems to be a oh god, I forgot that word again. There seems to be a happening of deities coming to our worlds and being either punished, trapped, or tortured, or enslaved. Um, and there seems to be like some sort. It feels like some sort of forces behind all this development in a way.
Well, yes, the Spider Queen and the Convergence, it was pointed.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that. And I do agree wholeheartedly that. And I say this as a priest and a cleric. I can certainly say that Bahamut has his own personality. And each of his avatars can. And they're a reflection of his followers, rather. And then the deity becomes more pointed, and then the cycle continues. They are the summation of their worshippers, and their worshippers are a summation of them. Symbiosis is the best term that I have. Not parasitic, but when we do something in our God's name, it echoes onto him, or her, or them, or they. This is not a static situation. There are deities that have changed alignments due to their followers making choices.
As he says this, I'm just gonna take one step back away from him and look around, like, in case he gets smited.
I only speak that truth. I only speak that truth.
He basically just said, "Yeah, Bahamut sucks sometimes too," and I'm just waiting for the.
Oh, we already had that fight in character. You were there for it.
And I don't want to be hit by another one.
That's fair. It's not a fight. You left me, Dad. It sucked. Back in character. You're just going out to get milk. Sorry. All right.
Guys, I think we lost Vomel. I didn't think Bahamut was going to get him this way, but
he's weeping in a corner now.
He's weeping in a corner about his dad getting milk. I don't know what happened, but something changed all of a sudden.
I got a $5 bill and a card. I don't understand.
I think Bahamut hit him with feeble mind. I don't understand.
All right. All right, try this again. Where were we? Right.
I have no idea now.
I do, thankfully. If you recall what happened to Quetzalcoatl and his people, the reason why he still had power is that those who still believed in what he was, even while he was bound. The reason why Bahamut could return is for those who still believed in him. This deity has a slightly different issue. Both deity and people are relying on the other to come up with something, to move forward. But neither side will take that step. Neither will take the risk. So they are stuck in stasis and stagnation and the spinning nothingness of hoping someone else will do. And that is why clerics and paladins are specifically important for deities, as they can do. We are meant to be of action. We are meant to move. Or else, if there are no more deeds or changes, what you believe in can fade away.
So
But this
by
is
that,
not-
by that logic, would us removing her from having from them, wouldn't that hurt her more because she wouldn't have any followers anymore?
That's why. So she is an aspect of the greater goddess. We could free this avatar, or if we can empower the people, she can then not go through this cycle of death and decay and being reborn. While that works for a phoenix, it is clear that in this case it is not a pleasant situation for her. She is more trapped than being reborn. So it's static rather than growth. Unfortunately, her people, I believe, don't know how to move forward. Could it be fear, lack of strength of arms, something else we may not know until the feast? But if we are to help them, and I think we are finding them because we're supposed to, we have to empower both sides so they're no longer shackled by their own beliefs. And as someone who just had to fight his own beliefs in order to move forward, I understand what they're going through in a bit more visceral sense than I probably would have until recently. Still want to know who that old man was.
What old man are you talking about?
Wasn't that
Oh.
just
The old man that shit everywhere.
yeah, wasn't that just the Val's that guy?
Unfortunately, that doesn't limit it down.
No,
How's that
because
guy?
The elephant.
Rule of us.
Yes.
yeah, it was not
Wasn't that
because
just an aspect of it? No?
No.
no, because you guys found a statue in one of the chambers before you went into that
Oh.
that boss fight.
Yeah.
Of a demon who had
Yeah, the little poop statues.
the little poop
Yeah,
statues that
I don't think
that-
I don't think I passed my role to figure that out. So I'm trying
Well,
to play the fact
think
that I don't
yeah,
know.
I think yeah. So I think you and Liam did not get one.
Correct. We
But this is
during
This was,
our visions, I didn't clock them, and both Alex and Liam. So that's what I was playing off of. So
Yeah.
I still don't know who you guys are referring to.
so actually I think you're more familiar with this as Balthazar. That
Oh.
that old man.
Well, that'll do it.
So there are lessons. And I think we can apply the one we just learned in this case. At least I hope so. Speaking of which, now that we have a moment, Val, are you alright? Let me rephrase that. I know the answer to that question is no.
How not all right are you?
On a scale from normal fucked up to newly fucked up, where are you?
I can put your brother's head through a wall if you'd like.
You could.
I
try.
wouldn't change anything.
And most likely not.
He said you could try.
What? No, this is something that has come up multiple times. We never stop. We have another problem in front of us. And we don't stop to take the time to understand what we've just been through. Or just walked through, or ripped apart in this case.
I'm still processing it. Don't really have much to say about it.
right? Have you been able to process any of the almost solutions we have come through in the past several years?
Very vague question as to defining solutions to
Your
my
His-
issues, but okay.
I'll be more blunt then. I apologize. The multiple beings that have affected your mind and memory and truth of yourself that we have dispatched, found, fought, saved, and then lost again over the past several months while the world has tried to be destroyed by itself at a confluence. Is that
Yes.
more specific?
Yeah.
That is too.
As you can
that is
see,
way too
shit is
specific.
fucked up.
You
And
were
I'm just
definitely
here.
Wait, are we
born
still
in a
talking about
very
D&D?
bad
Yeah.
This is supposed to be escapism.
I know, right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I think we need to.
Hey,
we need to
none
talk
of our
about
bad
that.
guys
For
were paid.
real.
No,
Sorry,
it's still
but, like,
escapism.
that gets too real too quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Viva tries to use some voices sometimes, and it slips a little too close to realism at that point with some of the dumb shit villains we have.
I like to point out
Yeah,
no
but
He
villain
only
been
has
origin
one voice,
story.
and it's all of them at once.
Yeah, it's all of them.
If we fight a little orange troll, then it's too close to reality. We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, but we get to fight them like
We
in
just
a
smite them.
real way, like
Yeah.
with fists.
Resist.
And I just wanted to be lore accurate with tiny hands, okay?
Oh,
That's what your Rakshasa is. It's just backwards.
Backwards, tiny hands.
Arifs!
They're great. They're great.
China.
Oh, gracious sakes!
Oh, there's nothing gracious about that asshole. Moving on.
Yes.
All right, so let's re-roll that.
Reroll that.
That entire sidebar. I know that you will need time to process, but every time we say we will stop, we don't. And every time we go in and think we've solved things, we find more. This may not be the moment to try to remove yet another curse upon your mind, because we don't know where we are. However, that is something we still need to ensure that there's nothing else lurking within your mind. And that is a concern I have. And that's not your fault. That is something else affecting you. Or several someones. At least two at this point that I know of.
Is he looking at me at this moment? Because I'll be really upset if he is.
Me? No.
No, at least two people affecting you. Make sure he's not looking at me like, oh. Dude, my torture to him was like 100 years ago, max. Like, we're past that.
I don't have a couch big enough for this party.
I don't think Val's like sitting here like taking like a brief moment to think like how many people, who could he think of? Because Val's like, I mean, there's these guys, and then like you just like in Val's head, he just hears Brock will be like, I mean, there's me and the other guy, and then it's just the silent one standing there,
Freaking broccoli.
and then it's just the silent guy standing there who doesn't really say shit, and he just grunts. He's like, and he's like, And Val just like
Personalities.
blank
Rid of
face
at
during
least one
all
of
of
them.
this.
Dude, the other day, Brockle came up. I'm like, oh my god, Brockle. Yeah. So all these, so you have a brief moment where
Then there is
Rommel-
the third voice that slithers in. That
What's third voice?
the one that Viva said didn't quite go away. I don't think at the end of he's dead. His
He's
voice isn't
gone.
gone.
He needs no. Mm-mm.
But it's one of those things like I don't think Val recognizes it or like realizes what it was. And he just goes, I don't know, it feels quieter than it was, guess. I don't know. I'm still a little too focused on the blood that is on my hands that is far too fresh. For Val, he is referring to Artie.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's a whole other bucket of trauma.
Because Val can't distinguish whether or not that was real or if it wasn't.
Yeah. You want to talk about that one? Didn't we talk about that? Haven't we already talked about that?
I know we're
I
being
don't think
taken back to our rooms, but it sounds like we need to be at the bar.
But does fish drink here?
They drink like fishes.
They drink like fish.
I like how everyone went to
I
the same
hate
joke.
You guys. Oh, I hate you guys for that.
Love it.
Thank you for the setup.
Ba-doom-doom.
I appreciate it.
Please don't be here next week.
Try the fish.
Is there like
Because, like, technically, and this is very selfish of me,
I still have Elder Dragon brain in my hair.
let alone, like, all the rest of the things that we fought since the last
It's
time we
more
were able to
corrupted
stop.
dragon in your hair,
Mhm.
and then
No, that was an elder dragon, or elder brain dragon.
yes.
Oh. Well,
And then all the
there's
wiggly
brain
bits.
matter in my hair.
Don't forget the larva.
Yeah, I think it's less dragon and more, yeah, illithid.
It's more the larva.
Is there, or one of these? I'll open all the doors.
Or one of these rooms, like, a place that I could, once again, I say very selfishly, wash my hair.
Yeah, so outside, so you kind of like you peek into the rooms and there's not, but right outside one of the front door is one of the kutila. It's got these like very metallic-y red scales with a little loincloth and spear and yes, madam, can I help you?
Do you have, like, a wash basin or water or something?
Oh, much better than that. No, we have the falls.
That sounds
It
great.
is a little open, but it will do the trick.
I can work with that.
All right.
I don't think that these guys would understand the concept of like privacy or decency.
I got
Yeah.
that covered.
Or
Don't worry about it.
washing. I mean, they're fish.
But yeah, he takes you over to one of the caverns and there is this stream of water that like pours into this pond. And so we do take like some of our kills here to get to be hit with the water to clear it up. Don't mind the pond itself. I wouldn't step in it. But it does get cleaned. There are things in there that very much enjoy eating what falls from. But anyways, you got it from here, and then just kind of like just awkwardly like kind of jostles away as he points you towards essentially a waterfall
Okay.
for you to use.
I'm going to.
Not that I don't trust these people, but in general, this
Just feels like a solid use of this.
I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points to cast darkness.
I thought you were gonna try to purify
Um,
food and water.
No, and with my the Eyes of the Dark feature, I can see in this magical darkness. But to everybody else, it's just like this like weird black blob.
Word block,
Is
Bob.
my understanding.
As you peer out of it, you do see that the companion that brought you there, the guard that brought you there, holding like his eyes,
Bless.
shielding him.
I I'm just trying to picture our Astrid, the murderer of most things, the brawler, modest. This is breaking my brain a little bit.
Listen, when you want privacy, you want privacy, all right?
It's just funny. I know I love it, but it's like I forgot.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's less like a bashful thing and more of a
It's still funny.
I don't want to have to murder anyone, you know? I'm not gonna have to like pull an Artemis or something like that. So, anyways, I will wash the brain and purple worm out of my hair,
Mhm.
and then head back.
Yeah, so you do notice as like the viscera that was stuck and caked into your hair and everything washes down. It's the the water had smoothed out parts of those rocks, and as soon as some of that hits, you kind of see these like slithering creatures inside of the water immediately kind of reach up and start grabbing it. That I suspect would give you a little bit of creeps, but these ones aren't talking to you and not calling you mother.
Yeah.
So that's a good
Good. I'm moving up in the world, you know?
thing. Uh-huh. Back in your guys' quarters, is there anything else that's happening before you guys head to the feast?
I'm like constantly like messing with my ear, like
It's uncomfortable.
I feel like I have constant water in my ear, and I'm like, I don't like this. Is this gonna live here for my whole life? Like what? That the water? Like what do I do? Like I'm literally racking my brain and worried that racking my brain might like hurt me because now there's something in there. I'm trying to figure this out.
Burrow somehow
There's something
deeper.
else also racking your brain.
Yeah,
that's-
wrecking your brain is
I have a
happening.
slight
on
migraine for
two
some
fronts.
reason.
So many jokes. So
Alright.
what he will do is to try to, because it is a feast, he will try to make him look presentable. But I don't have prestidigitation, unfortunately. So
Neither do I.
so he will try what he can to look a little bit more presentable, because again, there is a god involved. Even if it's a minor one, it's still important.
What is a short rest, by the way?
10 to an hour.
An hour. All right, so you guys all have a short rest. That you guys will start now, and then we'll take a short break before we head to the feast.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
I was gonna say, like, I don't have much time left, but
Cool.
I'll do what I can.
It's fine.
No worries.
I do appreciate the distraction that is
No,
No,
I'm here.
she's there. I see.
Okay.
All right.
Does
great.
anybody need to address anything?
We don't have your
before we head in?
camera on, Em. We don't know.
Oh, all right.
I can't see you through the back of, David's head.
It's
Sometimes
quite
I
a
think
large
his
little
top
head.
She's
knot
blocked by
is
the man bun.
Yes, the man button definitely blocks her almost like right there.
How's Nick's doing? Let me.
She is fantastic. When I got up, she was sleeping in her little donut, just
The little-
snoozing away.
It's red, right?
The little
Is the
Pokeball, yeah.
I don't know. They're on my mind today for some reason. Okay, so you guys are led out of your chamber, and you hear much more joyous music. I wish I could echo it, what it sounds like, because the sounds. But the main fairway again is kind of lit up with. They have now chopped that bioluminescent mushrooms and stuff, and attached it to the pillars and the balconies and the things that line the fairway. And then they've brought in these long tables that's kind of stretched along as everybody's sitting down. You find yourselves being taken towards the main table that sits long ways as a cross at kind of the center of the town, where you are met by again that 15-foot statuesque the Tide Mother herself. Come, enjoy the festivities. We again welcome you all, M&A, to our town of Scaledeep. You have saved my children from a ferocious ending, and we can never pay you enough. Please be seated. And a bunch of Kotoa come and they pull these gravelly chairs carved out of that same molten rock out so that you can sit on it. Not comfortable, by the way, but they help you put the chairs back in. As you sit down, and sitting in front of you is maybe the most elaborately decorated and vile-looking meal you guys have ever seen. As everything looks kind of muddy and very liquidy and mucusy.
Fish food.
Fish food.
Nice.
Like fish food's like flakes of stuff, but yeah, whatever.
The other kind of fish food.
Mm.
You're thinking of
Ice
captured
cream.
fish food.
Isn't that one of the Ben and Jerry's ones, fish food?
It
It
is.
is.
It is. It's a good one. Although
It is
half
a
baked
great
is
one.
the best.
I don't know about that.
Half baked has brownies and chocolate chip cookie dough. How could you improve on any kind of ice cream?
Coffee.
Pistachio.
But is there a coffee that has brownie and
Ooh,
I'm
that
I'm
would
not a
be
big
really good.
chocolate fan, so I don't care. I want the coffee.
That's, there is a sorry, derailing significantly.
We're
There is
way
a,
off base.
ice cream. There is an ice cream that is it has cookie dough at least in it, but it's coffee based. It's shoot. I used to eat it all the time in college. Double
Just
Dunker.
start. I actually am inspired to make my own ice cream now because, like, brownie, cookie dough, and like chocolate covered coffee beans
Mm.
all in
Yeah.
an
With a-
ice cream.
with a caramel swirl or something in there.
Oh, yeah, dude, you just killed me. You just fucking killed me, man. My diabetes done. I'm
I
fucking
was
done.
say
It's
verbal
amazing.
diabetes killed you.
I've
I have
officially
betas.
written you in my suicide note that and then a bottle of fucking cup of this is next to me. God damn you, Alex.
What a way to go.
What a way to go. It was a fucking
Alright.
wild ride, dude. So
Not
as you guys sit there there's several different performers and stuff as the Kuotoa kind of like dance around and they perform like acts of combat and stuff. What you guys would assume as rituals, but you do notice that while some of those activities are purely for entertainment, other ones seem to be garnishing attention that are winning other Kuotoa shells and precious
All they're
stones
betting.
as they kind of gather around someone like the
penguin.
combatants and stuff. Those of you that are distracted by that don't notice as some servants come up to you and they present to you a tray, and there are 3 cups carved out of that same kind of like petrified wood, and they present it to each one of you, and each one of you has a cup with a red liquid, a green liquid, or a black liquid in it. And the server say to you, only one. You are not used to our customs, so please choose only one. And so if you guys could write into our chat which color drink you're going to take, if any.
Can I have planned to sit next to Valen?
Direct?
Yes, of course. You can say wherever you want.
Okay. I'll pick green.
Write it into the chat, please, so I can keep it organized in my head.
Does it look edible, drinkable? Like, does it look like anything we do, or does it look like more fish snot stuff?
I've had whatever.
I know, no. There's a reason I'm sitting next to you. Don't you worry.
Whatever they can offer, I've had worse, so I'm not afraid.
It is.
That is how the bard dies.
It is. Lesser restoration is prepared.
Yeah.
By the by.
It is
in real life. I had wine that made with scorpion. Okay, so I don't care.
My statement does not change.
They literally put scorpion into like a rice wine and let it ferment it for like a decade.
Ooh.
I don't care.
Ooh, it's like that rattlesnake tequila.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right, Valen. So they offer you up your cup, and you take the middle one, the green one.
Yes.
And you hold this up in front of you, and your server kind of gives you a bow. Turns his head to give you a bow like this, so he could look you in the eye. And he says, "Pleasant journeys," as you knock your shot back. And it has this minty flavor that just like it hits your tongue, but immediately goes into your sinuses, and it goes like, and it just kind of like seeps to like seep across your head, down your spine, and then it gives like a menthol burst throughout your entirety. Ooh. And you kick your head back. And all of a sudden, with your eyes, you close your eyes, and it just becomes so bright. It's blinding. And all of a sudden, you find yourself soaring through the sky on the back of a giant red eagle, who's flying over this forest, right? And you see this opening in the forest. It's kind of like a large gathering. On the northern side of it, you had seen like these weirdly structured stone gates, some of them broken. As you continue north past it, you see this lake, and the way that the sun is hitting this lake, it shimmers, and you see this kind of like weird serpent slither through the water, and below it there is something emanating this amazing glow.
Oof.
And it, as you soar over it, that glow grows bigger and bigger and bigger until it again blinds you. And all of a sudden you kick back awake and you find yourself in the festivities.
Jesus fucking Christ, this drink's so good to get me high. Woo!
Okay.
I can
Can
go
I order a
next.
second?
I said I was
Can
sitting
I
next
order
to
a
him.
second? I would like to have second.
You said you wanted to go next?
I said I was sitting next to him, so logically I would go next.
Okay.
So I would watch what happened to him.
Uh-huh.
They can understand us, right? So
Yes.
I'm just gonna take one at random because I have no intention of actually drinking this. I'm going to try to mimic what he did, and I'm going to, well, as he's having his psychedelic trip, I'm going to ask the server, like, as he sees me reaching forward, he's like, "Is he gonna be okay?" And I'm going to like take it, and I'm gonna try to swap it with his empty cup. And then leave mine in front of him, and I'm going to just like act like I'm drinking the. When they look back, I'm gonna try to drink the empty cup.
Gotcha.
That's my order of operations. So I'm gonna like
Gotcha.
ask him a question, point to him, like him clearly or someone else, and I'm gonna wherever gives me like line of sight break, and then I'm going to swap.
Literal sleight of hand.
Literal sleight
All
of
right.
hand.
Let me get a roll. Yeah. When you point it to somebody to your side, it's very difficult for a fish to turn its head because their eyes are on the other side.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, I see that. But pulls this off. And so you enact what Valen did.
Whoa! Oh, yeah, I'm so crazy.
All right.
I can do a performance check if you want me to do the performance part too.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
19, yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's
so,
also
yeah,
affected by
there's-
reliable tally. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So it was over 12, 10.
Yeah, no. So that really fucking, and you just hear them all clap for you, and woo.
If Valen ever does come out of his psychedelic trip and looks down, he does have a second one he could try.
Roll a D3 for me then.
D6 and then take your. Oh, do we have D3s? I guess we could do D3, right? Oh, that's our magic of not physical dice. Did it do anything?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. All right. So Astrid, you.
Yep.
In front of you, you grab the cups containing the red viscous liquid, and you throw it back, and
Terrible.
you feel this like hot rage course through your body, and it starts again. Like it goes up your sinuses, and then it just curls around your brain and just pours down your body, and your skin feels this horrible heat as you start to open your eyes, and in front of you you see this winged creature floating in this giant like land of flame and fire. As you lunge towards them and you drive one of your spears or one of your this obsidian knife into their heart, and you just start to carve it down through their chest, opening up through their gut, and you just in this like complete rage start to open up and let their bowels fall, even though you're suspended, 20 feet up in the air, and the rage as the guts hit the ground, but you guys, those wings are still flapping, keeping you afloat, and it's not enough for you. As you reach over their shoulder blades and you start to stretch that knife up from the bottom of their wings to the top, severing it. And then all of a sudden, this flight gets lopsided, and then you go to the other side. And even though it's going to cause you probably some physical harm, as this thing is trying to keep you up in the air, you cut that wing off too, and you fall to the ground, and you just lay panting on the ground with this gasping, horrific creature, this being next to you, giving its last gargling breaths as you look up into this fiery hellscape with a grin on your face. You stare into that abyss until it shines so bright it blinds you, and as you blink your eyes, you open up and you see yourself sitting in front of the crowd once again.
All right. Holy shit. Okay. That was
Right.
oddly therapeutic.
Well, you grab your drink, and you see all your companions, their reactions. How are you going to take this shot? Let me hear it real quick.
Val just drinks it as normal.
Yeah. All right. No tip of the cap for the rest of it. You just throw it back, and as it hits your tongue, you get this maybe a little pepperminty flavor as it starts to go up your sinuses and throw your head back. And it has this kind of cool sensation as it pours over your body. And you open your eyes, and you feel like this gust of wind over your face. All right. So time out. There are different ways I want to take this. I can leave it up to your own imagination, or I can try to do it justice. And it is up to you guys. Because Ben also pulled black.
I'm always down for the do it justice.
Okay. Ben, I will do my best to do yours justice. So you open your eyes and you feel like this bitter cold as all of this wind is ripping across your flesh. And you reach down and you look at your hands, and they are grasping on to the coppery shoulders of a dragon. As you guys barrel roll through the sky, you start tearing down this wide open plain as you chase a herd of unicorn. To your right, you hear this giggling sound of one of your companions, right? The princess of the Feywild. As you guys hover so closely to the ground that it starts to whip up all these flowers and these petals, and you're just being cascaded with kind of these golden petals. And Artie's voice kind of cheers you on, saying we can go faster, as you guys try to outrace this herd of unicorns. As you guys tear through the Feywild, you start to approach this orchard of these trees filled with golden leaves, and as the sun is shining on them, it starts to blind you. And again, that blindiness starts to shine greater and greater and greater until all of a sudden you snap back awake, and you're sitting there in this village, and just your face is covered in these tears.
Okay.
Just to add, once again, I think Val effectively can't cry out of his scarred eye anymore, so you just see the tears going down to one side.
There you go.
Emotional
Still crying, but definitely
damage.
Just
he
just only on
well,
the-
there's emotional damage, but there's also physical scarring that has been done to that side of his face multiple times. So I don't think that bodily
Yeah.
function really works anymore.
Vamos.
But yeah, I would say you did some justice to that.
You are offered up a tray full of 3 shots. Red, green, and black, and you take the black. Not knowing what your others had taken. You grab the shot of black viscous liquid and you throw it back. And that same pepperminty flavor hits. And it sends that same cooling feeling across your barren scalp and down your body. And you feel a bitter cold sting on your skin that you hadn't felt for at least a month now, right? You're back in the highlands, surrounded by your herd. And you look behind you, and there is no temple yet. But you definitely know what hill you're standing on, right? Because you've carved it, you've dug it away in your now future. You've paved the path to the Temple of Bahamut. But right now, you are surrounded by your people, your family, big and old, young and tiny, as they kind of run around you. And they look at you quizzically because you carry a book in your hands, and many of them kind of like tease you and taunt you. But they kind of like wave to you. Come on, come on. As the herd starts to run together down the hills towards another herd of like elk as they begin their hunts and their festivities. And you're running next to them and kind of had tucked your book into your satchel, and you're running with your herd alongside your people. Not the cleric, not the follower of Muhammad, just another member of the herd. And then as you like just are careening down there and all that wind is rushing up towards you, and you just hear that like overwhelming sound of the stampede of your ilk. You're grinning ear to ear, and your eyes wide open. It starts to make your eyes tear up and water and burn a little bit, and then it just becomes this blinding pain, and then all of a sudden you snap back awake, and again you have that same like those tears coming down your face. And you all sit around at the table, gain your composure, a little bulb. I hope what you saw was fortuitous. It is always a welcomed experience. And it is not the only thing that we have to offer tonight. Thank you again, M&A. And that's where we'll
Thank
end
you.
tonight.
Nice.
Yay, somewhat of a high point, quasi, sort of, maybe, kind of, ish.
Yeah, that's good.
Yay!
Like drink. I'm down with that, man. I don't care.
Valen is going to look down at some point and realize he has a second drink. So, just saying, things could happen.
There you go. He did
we
say
don't
he
know
wouldn't
what
mind taking
color it
another
was.
one.
Pass the black.
Black seems like the good stuff.
All right,
Where are
I
you
wanna
at,
go-
man?
I'm in my basement.
That's
He's
not-
turned his camera like
Dude.
45 degrees.
Oh,
At a
Okay.
different angle.
Oh, so
Different
no, I got a
angle.
new desk. I have a standing desk now. I got it for Christmas, and
Yeah,
so
you're shorter than I remember
it's just because I'm slouching.
because you're not standing.
True. So like you can see where part of the Legos are. Not all my game books by a long shot, but my most commonly
Yeah,
used.
I think
gaming
I'm
books.
used to seeing like that angle.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, this is where I've been since Christmas.
Has
That's
left
kinda
his
nice.
basement. Alright, throwing on stream.
I'm going to bed.